Hey guys, Dr. Patrick from Dual Dimension here, and I have a very new and exciting card game to share with you today. The game that I'm talking about is called Shard Bugs, and I was introduced to it by the owner of my local LGS. Shout out to Luncheons and Dragons. And ever since, I've been addicted. This card game was started on Kickstarter in 2025, and as of mid-2025, they came out with their first set, the Buggin. In November of 2025, the second set, First Bounty, came out, and early 2026, the set I was introduced to, Infestation, was introduced to us. Now, this game has a lot of popularity in South Florida and is growing all over the US right now. They just had a big distribution partnership that they did, and I'm really excited about the growth of this game, so I want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about Shard Bugs. Now, if you've been a fan of the channel for a long time now, since 2009, basically, I've been playing card games, and primarily Magic the Gathering, and that was something that I found in Shard Bugs that was easy to integrate me into the card game, was that a lot of the basic systems that you find in Magic the Gathering exist in Shard Bugs. Now, a key difference, however, that I appreciate about Shard Bugs, primarily two key differences, are the Hive and the trait system. Now, in Magic the Gathering, once per turn, you're able to play a land so that you can generate mana over time to play the spells in your deck. Now, in Shard Bugs, you can play a bug once per turn into a section called the Hive. And your Hive, those bugs are going to exhaust themselves to generate dust in order to pay the dust cost for everything in your deck. The interesting thing, though, later is that you can pay the dust cost of those bugs that exist in the Hive to actually bring them onto the field to activate some pretty cool abilities and interactions. The other thing that I appreciate about Shard Bugs is the resistance system. At the bottom of each bug, they have a resistance, mostly, to a bug of their opposite orientation, whether it's tunneling, water bugs, or flying bugs. And when those bugs interact with the bug of their opposite orientation, or the ones that they have resistance to, those bugs are going to gain 1 point of defense during the combat step, which I think adds one little layer of extra intricacy to the game. Now, besides the mechanics, I really appreciate the art. The lore of Shard Bugs is very interesting and something that initially drew my interest. The comics are wonderfully animated, the voice acting is phenomenal, and basically, to get you started, I don't want to spoil too much, Shard Bugs is a world in which 3 cosmic entities drop shards down onto the earth to basically try and influence those organisms on Earth towards their side in order to gain cosmic dominance over the others. And in this world, bugs interacted with the shards, which essentially gave them sentience and devotion towards those different entities. And the war is so large, I believe since bugs outnumber humans 1 billion to 1, that even humans are involved. And so that was something to me that was so new and interesting. And you see the effects of the lore actually played out on the artwork of the cards themselves, which is awesome. Another cool thing that I thought when I did a little bit more digging is that the Shardbug staff actually has an entomologist on staff, which, if you're not familiar, an entomologist is a scientist who specializes in insects. And so they have scientific and real-life examples to support the bugs that they're using in their game, which, if you're a fan of insects in general, is another reason why you should check this card game out. Now, the last thing I'm going to highlight is the community. The Hive, or the Discord, I'm going to have a link in the description below, is super active. The community is always talking about deck techs. There's a tournament that the official Shard Bugs Discord supports. And there are also prize tournaments that Shard Bugs will support throughout different parts of Florida, and they have plans to support them throughout Mexico, throughout the US, and hopefully throughout the world. Now, I myself have been addicted to Shard Bugs, but if you've never actually been introduced to it, I wanted to pick up 3 different packs, one from each of the sets that they introduced, and a box topper set pack, which is essentially a pack that you'll get in a booster box. I'm going to make a separate video with the booster box. There's actual value, which as a Magic the Gathering player, I've kind of forgotten in those boxes. So we're going to go through what's in those when we do the opening. But we're going to go through a few packs because I want to show you guys just exactly how cool Shard Bugs can be. So let's check them out.
So, as you can see, we have one of each pack here. One representing the beginning, which was the first set, the first bounty, which was the second set, and the most recent set, which was Infestation. And then one of those box topper packs I was mentioning comes in each of those booster boxes that you can purchase. So without further ado, let's actually crack into some of these packs. Now, I actually do appreciate the quality of the packaging here. I've collected other smaller TCGs in the past. I can definitely say Shardbugs has one of the higher quality productions that I've seen. So we'll take a look in here. This is the box topper pack. So I believe it's supposed to come with a couple tokens of the avatars themselves. I'll put them up here for now. This looks like a really cool full art ribbon leech. And like I was saying, let me show you guys, the artwork on these cards is absolutely fantastic. I love how the shine around the outline and the border of this card looks. This looks like this is an awesome card. This is probably gonna go up in my display shelf. And I was thinking about doing something with worms or moths, so this is very cool, very, very cool. I'm gonna move forward though. We're going to do the Buggin next. So this was the first set that came out about mid 2025. Look how easily that comes apart. I love, if you pay attention to the packs here, they give you a little bit of the distribution information, but the text is actually done as if it was in a comic book, which is really, really cool. I love the attention to detail here. They recently showed us as well that the upcoming set Terraform is in production, so that's really cool. Definitely check out the Discord if you guys want to stay up to date. It's the best way to keep up with this game. It's very cool, very, very vibrant community. So let's take a look at some of the cards from the first set here. This is the Acorn Helm. So there are equipment cards very similar to items, artifacts, things like that in Magic the Gathering with equip costs. The cool thing though in Shardbugs, not this card specifically, is that here at the bottom, you'll notice these 3 boxes, and essentially the items have certain things, requirements to equip them, which I think make the game a little bit cool. We're gonna have an Amazonian Giant here. Our Battle Strategist. I remember listening to him in the introductory video. The Beetle Formation here. So we have effect cards, those are kind of like spells. Big Apple, very glad that I got one of these actually. If I decide to go Luna, he's one of those big body blockers, and like I was saying, he has a good resist cost. And Hard Shell, it's one of the mechanics in this game that I was mentioning earlier. It's gonna give this bug +1 defense when it's in combat with another bug. So very, very cool. And very cool art. This looks like something I would see on like Static Shock or something when I was growing up. We got our Spiny Sword Master here. Oh, a little shine back there. Let me not skip ahead though. The Elder, the Suke Elder, looking like a cicada, I believe. A Tiger Beast, another good staple, if I decide to go Meteor. Mabua the Scar, I believe this is my 3rd one. So, wow, I opened a booster box. I opened a booster box about a month ago. I pulled 2 of these. And as you can see here, I can have 3 in the deck. And so there we are. There's our set. The Mabua Scar set is complete. And then we're going to get left off again with an Acorn Helmet at the end. That is awesome. Now, if anybody could actually help me out, if someone's watching this, if there's a way to buy singles, please let me know. I was trying to look online. It seems like it's pretty limited. I would expect it to be so, obviously, but it's nice to be able to pull these booster packs because I can slowly start to build up my collection, because I definitely plan on playing some Shardbugs competitively. I'll take you guys on those journeys as well. We'll make some more convention content. Definitely check out our shorts. We went to SCG Con last year. Very, very cool. This is from the first bounty set. So this is the second set that came out. Bugs for Hire. We can see some of the artists here, so let's give credit to them. Wonderful job. And so let's take a look. We have our Treetop Lookout. So that's more of a support location card. Our Velvet Agent. Focus and Bounty 1. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do a video talking about some of the mechanics Venomous Assault, another good card here. Quick action, so it's essentially an instant if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering. Our Night Watch Officer. Look at the foil on that. Beautiful, beautiful foil. It's as if she's in the office herself. Hold it right there. Very cool. Our Finder's Fee. Very nice. So I believe this set introduced bounty tokens to the game, which are essentially treasure tokens in Magic the Gathering. You can sacrifice them at no cost, and you can get a mana or a dust of a neutral color. Energy drink, another good consumable here. And our Mountain Caller, another very good card. It's going to give you 2 devotion on splat, essentially, or when it dies. Another hard shell card there. And then the Nurse Bee. We're going to have -1/-1 counters. You'll be able to remove those. Counters, actually, when you go back and forth between the field and the hive, they're going to stay on the bugs. So that's another interesting mechanic that I appreciate about shard bugs there. And now we're going to do the third set, the most recent set, the one that got me introduced to the game. This is Infestation here, World War Bug. So this set came out early 2026. I believe in another couple months or so, maybe the Terraform set's gonna come out. Definitely check out their channel. I saw the roadmap. They have a lot of interesting things planned for shard bugs. And that's something too that I'm really excited about is the team is really awesome, really responsive. They care about their game, and you can really tell. And that's something you always want to look for when you're looking to get into a TCG. So let's check out Infestation. Here we got our Swarm Caller Cicada. Look at that. Look at the detail too. If you check out the background art, all the bugs swarming. His sword, or his scythe rather. The shing on that with some dew on the leaves. Beautiful. They follow my call. Amethyst the Airborne. Wow, look at that. Look at the worm with some J's. He's rocking some J's going through the sky with some aggro. So that's essentially haste. And he's going to devote for 2. So in this game, unlike Magic the Gathering, you're not trying to bring your opponent down to 0 life. You're trying to get yourself to 20 devotion as quickly as possible, which is cool because it becomes a tug of war of essentially trying to get to your 20 devotion while trying to manage your opponent on towards getting up to 20 as well. So we have a deflect here. This is a quick effect. Prevent the next combat damage that would be dealt to target bug on your field this turn. Deal that damage to target enemy bug instead. Wow. I can't remember exactly what the card is, but it's kind of like those jars in Yu-Gi-Oh! Look at the shine on that card here. Orchestrated Sinkhole. So again, this is going to support the worms. So let me put that to the side. Another worm here. This is great. Lutherian Ritualist. 2 devotion, 3/3. Tap it. If you control another worm, target enemy loses 2 devotion and you gain 2 devotion. That's very good. Not too bad. Have our Lily Pad Patrol here. Look at that, he's underwater. About to ambush that bug on top. And then we have our Meteor Roughneck. This is a pretty good 1-drop here. If it blocks or is blocked by basically another non-meteor bug, it's gonna become a 2/2. So that's pretty nice. And then Propaganda, one of my favorite cards here in the game, if you pay attention there. It's basically just slandering all the other avatars. So that's pretty cool. And then we have our Roach Coach. Equip bug gets +1 defense. If it's a roach, it doesn't exhaust to retreat. And retreating is basically going from the field to the hive. You can pull bugs from the field to the hive or from the hive to the field once a turn. It's a good way to kind of generate mana early game and things like that. So again, other intricacies. And it's also going to cost 0 to equip to a roach. So that's really nice. So definitely look forward to more Shard Bugs content on Dual Dimension. I'm addicted to this game. You guys should definitely check it out. Like I said, join the Discord. I'll have a link in the description below. Check out the website, read the rules, get involved, and let's really blow this thing up. This is an awesome game, and I appreciate the community.